Ja. Markiert eller? 5 kok.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
This morning I'm sharing the stage with guinea fowl, and quite a few of them, as you can see. They're sharing the stage with guinea fowl and barking dogs in a residential area here in Somerset West. And it's Friday, January 24th, 2025. Welcome back to the program, folks. 2020. Just doing a quick sound check there. All right, hey, well, nothing happening today. Nothing significant around the world. It's not like there's a march going on at this hour. There is a march going on this hour. It's the March for Life, ladies and gentlemen, annual event in Washington, D.C., taking place at this very hour. Kicked off, well, 5 minutes ago technically, but it's actually been going on longer than that. That's official kickoff. The March for Life expected to draw thousands. That's funny. It'll draw hundreds of thousands. Trump also pardoned 23 pro-life activists today. That's exciting news. We're going to talk about that. The event marks the 52nd anniversary of the Supreme Court's unconstitutional decision in the Roe versus Wade case and comes less than 3 weeks after the justice overturned it in Dobbs versus Johnson. That's last year. What are you talking about? Comes less than 3 years. I thought I said 3 weeks. Less than 3 years after they overturned it in the Dobbs case. President Trump, who helped solidify the majority in the conservative justice who overturned Roe versus Wade, expected to address the March for Life via video just days after he and J.D. Vance took office. A day before the event, Trump pardoned 23 pro-life activists. So I guess he pardoned them yesterday. Anyway, so that's what's going on right now at this hour. Let's take a look. There's a concert going on there in D.C. at the March for Life. Got a March for Life concert going on. Big crowd there for it. Big event there. The March for Life concert. Anyway, so more footage, interviews taking place, people on the street. I don't know who that is.
For me or anybody in the whole wide world, that God so loved the world that he came to give his son, that anybody who would believe in him, regardless of what your past looks like.
March for Life.
Today I stand before you, 22 years sobriety.
I guess he used to be a drunk. Sorry to hear that, buddy, but I'm glad to hear you're sober. More coverage, this one from EWTN, talking about the March for Life.
So let's talk about this case and the potential impact it could have.
Sure. I think this is an important case. We pro-lifers have been very eager for Planned Parenthood to be defunded, but it's a complex matter because the funding streams come through the federal government, but also the states, and they come through particular programs. So the defunding has to occur within the parameters.
Well, defunding the Planned Parenthood, that's something I'm in favor of. It's planned infanticide is what it really is. Welcome back to the program, folks. That's an update on the March for Life going on right at this hour in Washington, D.C. Awkward Leon, before the program started, said he's shocked that millions of rand have gone missing from the Mkonto Sizwe party's purse. Somehow I don't think we are, right? Garrett Gillich in from Somerset West, Dylan Kalmbrook in from Cape Town, Chris Ehlers, Vilma Erasmus, Val Cooper, Teeny. Welcome back, Teeny. Erica's here. How's it going, Erica? And then we got started with Pablo Charlie in from the Netherlands. Smee again is back again. Chris Sten, Elizabeth Kruger, Gary Vochlik is how I'd really say it, in from Europe, somewhere in the confines of Europe. That's a large space. And then we've got Charmaine is back. And who else in the chat? Not a lot of people in the chat. Same people over and over again here. Alan Coates is there. And I don't want to miss anybody. I'm trying not to miss folks. Leah Minar is there. Hello, Leah. Chris Aitlers, I already mentioned. And I said Vilma. There's John Hoochin in from Arizona. John, how's it going? And Tony Noge in from Canada. I found something in my storage room that's worth $5 million to me. No, it's not for sale. Okay. Oh, all right. Dan says, away, Chris, on Aldi Mensa. Well, away to you. Away, Masakina. Dan, how's it going? Les Van Ice says, hi from Durbanville. I love your comments and explanation of land expropriation. You're welcome, Les. You should read my article if you haven't done that, folks. Actually, let me get that right now because I think a lot of people who are here aren't familiar with my article. It's on LinkedIn. It's not the easiest to get to because LinkedIn has changed its format and they've made articles almost impossible to find. Back when they first allowed social media stuff, articles were one of the few things you could actually do on your social media. And so I wrote articles. I did occasional ones. And now they kind of hide them. So I have to go to post. And then when I get there, where's it at? Come on, I want to see all posts, all posts. And then I can find my more button and articles. That's how hard it is to find. So no one ever finds this stuff. That's unfortunate. I read an article called South Africa Land in Poverty, which I've read on this channel a few times. It hasn't got a lot of views. It's from April 7th of 2018. And everything I said in that article remains true to this day. I stand by my assessment. Also, disputed the lies told about who owns land in South Africa. Only whites own land. That's a lie. They only own 51% of the farms in South Africa. But they own 70% of the land. Well, yeah, that's probably true, but that's not the issue here. Anyway, check it out if you want. Not right now, but that's my article on land and poverty in South Africa. It raises a question about the ANC's failure to address land and extension services, grants, loans, training, things like that, preparing people who want to become farmers. Also, the legitimacy of taking land that's productive. So it's all in there. I wrote it in 2018. It was prescient at the time, remains apropos today. Ooh, big word alert, prescient, apropos. No big words, no big words. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so let's get back. Who we got over here? So, okay, Les, I put that up for you, and anyone else wants it. Build a wall around D.C. Well, that's an idea. That is an idea. Do you know that Washington, D.C. was once 78% black, and now I think it's like 61% with the influx of those trying to garner favor with the government over the past 30 years, the percentage of black residents in D.C. has declined as a percentage. Yep. African Idiot, did you write Argentina's speech at Davos? Wow, what a speech. No, I didn't. I didn't even hear his speech. Sounds like he's been listening to my channel. Maybe that'd be nice to know if Argentinians listening. Well, I know we had some Chileans because of the rugby, but I don't think we had any Argentinians. Did Trump sign any bills or something to do with Bitcoin? I haven't seen that yet. That may be the case, Charmaine. He's talked about it, but he's busy doing other things. He's headed to California right now. He may already be on the ground as far as I know, but Trump is headed off to California to address the fires. He said he'd go on Friday, and he's doing it. Promises made, promises kept. The only promise Trump hasn't kept so far is the one where he blustered that he would end the Ukraine war on day one. He's not even paying attention to the Ukraine war. I think he's going to let it starve, and no funding for Ukraine. It'll just die out. You see the latest tech at SHOT Show? I don't know what that is, Garrett. SHOT Show. Sounds like a pornography movie. SHOT Show. Tom Smith is here. Greetings from Georgia. Georgia. I can't sing. Sweet Georgia on my mind, yeah. Anyway, yeah, the Peach State. All right. Good to see you there, Tom. And who else we got there? Drunken Yoda's from down that way in Georgia. We haven't seen him on here lately. I think he popped on recently. SHOT Show, you don't know. Wow, why would I know it? I don't spend my life trolling on the internet. By the way, the rand is at 18.51 to the dollar. Well, keep going north towards 30. Then I'll consider buying something. But yeah, I know. SHOT Show, what is it on YouTube? You guys going to tell me something or just keep me guessing? Is it a Twitter thing? I don't know. SHOT Show. It sounds like a porn thing. It sounds like cheap porn. Amateur pornography. SHOT Show. Woo. See, guys, my analysis, my comments don't come from parroting other social media content creators. I don't go to social media content creators to learn about things or to cover stuff. No, I mean, that happens occasionally just because you come across or you're doing research and then you find it. But I get my ideas either from myself, my experience, my analysis, or occasionally viewers will offer something I should take a look at, and I do that. So, yeah, no, I don't get my ideas from other places. I've listened to a few programs like the Lotus Eaters and other things, but I don't listen to a lot of them. I just don't have the time, man. The biggest gun show in Vegas. Okay, I don't go to Vegas for firearms. I go to Harrisburg for firearms. We have the farm show. We have the outdoor show. The outdoor show has more firearms than the 82nd Airborne Division. When I want to see firearms, I go 15 miles down the road, 23 kilometers to the outdoor show. I filmed that. I showed you guys that. I live streamed that a couple years ago. Ramaphosa makes a big mistake and Bill. Local governments can, exactly. The DA can take, well, the DA can take things. That's right. Yep, if they have the balls, but I don't think they do. PK said, that's good. It's your program after all. Yeah, look, I'm not dissing other content creators. Good Lord, no. Most have far bigger, these big guys have a lot more reach than I do. What I'm just saying is I don't go to them. I mean, I know there are content creators and we've seen them exposed. JS, whatever her name was, she was exposed. She was simply stealing content and not video content, but published content. She would go or somebody would point something out and she'd find a little story and she'd just do a video. Or she watched other people's videos. She did that as well. And then she repeated it and made a video. But because people liked her for whatever reason, she grew in popularity, only to be exposed as a total fraud by the internet anarchist. And yeah, so CoffeeZilla and internet anarchists exposing frauds all the time. So I don't do that. That doesn't mean I don't cover topics that other content creators cover. I mean, yesterday I was fortunate to catch the news of him signing the expropriation bill as it happened. Boom. Doesn't always happen. And I know what it's about. I know what needs to be said. And I'm able to put a video out. All I need is the facts about what happened with the signing and then went from there. And I put a video out and it's doing pretty well. About 20,000 views right now. Close to 20,000, just under that. And that video, I believe, was the first one out there. No one else. And now Ronaldo's put a video out and many other people put a video. I think Martin von Staden put a video on Twitter or something like that. So my point is that lots of us cover the same topics, but I typically don't look to other content creators to get my inspiration. Otherwise, it's people can say I'm not genuine, and I am genuine. So go get your shot. All the new stuff. What's all the new stuff, Tony? Outdoor show. Yeah, it was 2 years ago we did a Hendo. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Alan Winde is a dictator, refuses to allow a Cape referendum. Well, I've never had positive things to say about Alan Winde. He's quite arrogant, at least publicly. Will Donald Trump seek a third term? No, Pablo Charlie. It's illegal. It's unconstitutional. The Constitution was amended after King Franklin Roosevelt died in office after winning his fourth term, which would have been 16 years in office. The Congress eventually passed a constitutional amendment. The states ratified it, and it became the law of the land. You can only serve 2 terms as president. So Trump is done. That's why he's moving so fast. He only has 4 years. And before you know it, 4 years will be gone. 4 years will be gone. It's better to stick with what you're interested in. I watch a few channels, enjoy your honest opinions. Well, thank you, PK. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Trump is in North Carolina now. I didn't see that. Wow, that's a smart move. Smart move by Trump. If we share your videos far and wide, is it not copyright infringement? What do you mean if you share it? Sharing a link to my video is not copyright infringement. If you download my video and load it up on your social media, that's copyright infringement. But sharing the link, that's not copyright infringement. That's what people do. I mean, that's how the internet, that's how social media survived. That's how it grew. It's how it expanded to be such a large universe with trillions and trillions of gigabytes and terabytes of data and exabytes and petabytes and, I don't know, take a byte. Yeah, because people share links. That's what it's all about, you know. I'm sure Trump will have some plans in the pipeline to ensure retards never run USA again. Well, retards are still running Harrisburg. It's 15 miles away, and they're still retards. Little Josh Shapiro, the man who can't follow the law, who's an attorney, the attorney general, yet he broke the law. Yeah, so anyway, let's take a look at things. Hey, we got currently, folks, 85 people here, 42 likes. Let's hit that like button. Come on. Okay, here we go. You know how it works. You will hit the like button. Yes, hit the like button. You're feeling tired. Not that tired to hit the like button. Hit the like button. Don't fall asleep. Whoa, what happened over there? Oh, there we go. That's not right. Analytics. There we go. All right, cool beans. Okay, so Matthew only share AOC bootylicious links. Bootylicious. I like big butts and I want to say. Ooh, AOC. AOC, I dream of thee. AOC, my baby 3. Will you be my baby mama, AOC? Good Lord, how we get on the AOC, right? Yeah, no, sorry, folks. Not interested. Hey, Petro, thank you for subscribing. Bye, donkey. Yeah, no, not interested. Not interested. Yeah, she is a very angry Latina. You do not mess with the angry Latina woman from New York City. Why does she have a Latina accent? She doesn't. She comes from New York City. Carlos Mango's back. Cool. Good to see him. Britt Hume. Boy, he's really putting out a lot there. I don't normally do predictions, but I predict that assassination buffs will be disappointed at how little interest is in the still classified parts of the files. Yeah, Trump has declassified the JFK, the Martin Luther King, and the RFK assassination files. And so, waiting for them to come out. Where are they at? Boom, boom. Let's see it. There's not going to be anything there. I don't think people are going to find anything. If there was anything, the government destroyed a long time ago. It's been 60 years. Looks like the libtards are on the roast rack, fleeing South Africa. Who are they going to blame now? Well, there you go. Good question. There's a good question. Nick Muller says, good day to you. Can't wait to see those files. Yeah, I know a lot of people are deeply interested in it. I don't think they're going to be seeing too much. As soon as the party gets more than 20,000 votes and not 2.5,000, then I will say it's possible. What party is that? The Independence Party? All right. So, let's get to the news. Oh, well, something's not right here. What's going on here? Oh, that's what happened. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what happened over here. I hit a button by mistake on my keyboard as I moved my arm, and I didn't see it. The screen flickered, but my menu at the bottom disappeared, my menu bar. It's back now. I've got it. Yeah. Anyway, so before we go on, let me just very quickly say thank you to those who are new subscribers. If you're here watching the live stream, appreciate you joining us. We've had a mild bump from 2 days ago. 2 days ago, we were at 21,289. And now we're at 641. So that's not quite 200. It's about 160 more subscribers in 2 days. So thanks for that. I wish it was 160,000 more subscribers. But hey, you get what you get. You get what you get. Anyway, but thank you for that. We've had a lot of views in the past 24 hours, especially yesterday. And we're doing okay today. Although it's tapering off now. I don't understand why that is. I just put another video out so you think it would slime. What's going on here? My ups keeps clicking. Power must be doing something. It's not perceptible to the human eye, but something is going on. I know there's something going on. It won't be long before you're gone. There's something going on. Anyway, Ramatwa thinks he's reinvented the German Democratic Republic. Allison says, Department of Education let us know we have to close the school for a meeting. Why can't the meetings be in the afternoon? Yeah, after school. Exactly, Allison, because they're idiots. They're idiots, Allison. They're morons. They're dipshits. That's why schools finish at 2 and 3 o'clock, so that educators can get together and have administrative meetings and the kids can get home safely before it gets dark. Yeah, but somehow that gets lost on the morons who run our education system. Yeah, Allison, I'm with you. They just raided JP's office this morning, and Jordan Hill Lewis wants... we're going to talk about that. Earl Abraham Koch, going to talk about that as well. We've got that in the mix for stories here. Tracy Wolf. Okay, so I want to get through the chat before we moved on. So the March for Life, let me take a quick peek and see what's going on over there. Oh, that band is still performing.
Changed my life all those years ago. And when I got sober and I got saved,
He got sober.
to tell everybody what Jesus had done for me.
When he got sober. Well, dude, I'm glad to see he got sober. The MK Party, I'm going to seize away the Vanity Project. Former President Jacob Zuma is missing millions of rand. Oh my, we're missing millions of rand. Oh my. By the way, folks, did you get your jab yet today? Go out and get your 47th jab. Oh yeah. I feel so much better now. Oh wait. That's thermal paste. That's not going to do anything for me. Oh, stop it, McAfee. I don't even believe that's still on my computer. All right, so the MK Party is missing millions of rand. Oh, my. Millions of rand, oh, my. Malema is trying to be relevant again. Oh, wow. Charmaine used the Teletubbies avatar. I haven't seen that come up in a long time. Is he saying something about it? I haven't seen what he's had to say about it. So, yeah, we'll have to take a look at that. But let's get to this story, which is the MK Party. A somber-looking Jacob Zuma in that photograph. Millions of rand are said to have disappeared from the party's coffers before their rally last month. MK fired his treasurer general 15 days before the event. Gee, I wonder if it's related. While his replacement, Tanti Mtanti, quit the same position last week, but remained in the party's highest leadership structure. According to MK's sources, members have complained that between 11 and 40 million rand gone missing. Oh, corruption in the corrupt party? Composed of corruption accused and convicted? Well, of course he called you settlers because it's a racist diatribe. It's a racist dog whistle, and that's what Julius Malema does because it gets him attention. Well, the MK Party announces new leaders for Gauteng and Limpopo. Hey, look, it's Floyd Shivambu. It's the Teletubby. Now he wears green. The MK Party has embarked on yet another leadership shakeup with the announcement of new permanent leadership structures in the Gauteng and Limpopo provinces. This was a decision taken by the party's national officials this month. According to the party, there's a constitutional structure of the organization. They have the decision-making powers in between meetings of the National High Command to make these decisions. Well, everybody's become a leader in the MK Party except me. How can you still be worried about missing from a party that belongs to Zuma? Exactly, Earl. Exactly. Well, not on my watch, says D. McPherson. We're getting mixed messages coming from his ministry, of course, because his deputy is an ANC hack. What do you expect? Not on my watch. Democratic Alliance's Public Works Minister D. McPherson opposes the expropriation law, but his deputy, Sile Zikalala of the ANC, has welcomed the signing of the bill. Well, the subaltern of the ANC's corrupt cabal, the Democratic Alliance, will fall in line, or the GNU will fall apart. Let's see what happens. The move has met with resistance from political parties, including the EFF, MK, Action SA, and the DA, who call the bill a red line issue in their participation of government. Well, will they all leave? Will it necessitate the ANC leading a minority or plurality government without a majority? Could be. Did they look for missing money? No, the money's not under mattresses, Tracy. It's in the fire pool. The 40 million rand are in the bottom of the fire pool, vacuum sealed in plastic. These people just follow the money, and they're not in politics to help people. They just make money off people. Yep. Mary Sinclair's back. Mary, it's been donkey years since we've seen you chat. Welcome. SAPC spent less than 30 seconds on expropriation without compensation. Yeah, of course. Other interviews, the presenter argued with the DA. Exactly. It's just a bunch of nonsense. A bunch of racist nonsense run by criminals. Oh, I had a good day yesterday. Wow, I actually had 16, 15. I guess the snow must have melted off my roof finally yesterday, which is interesting. Got a little bit warmer, close to the freezing level, but getting a little bit today. I hope the DA leaves at this point. Everything the FFMK wanted to do is already exactly. Well, they don't really want that. What they want is to call white people evil, racist, who stole the land and steal your agency and drive you into the sea. That's what the EFF and MK want. And frankly, they want it for coloreds too. And Indians, they hate them more. The DA must have a red strobe laser at their offices with all the red lines. It's like Barack Obama. The line is drawn here, not 1 inch further. Actually, it reminds me of Jean-Luc Picard. The line must be drawn here, no further. Jean-Luc, look at yourself with all your little toys. The Borg must be stopped. We are the Borg. Resistance is futile. What are the solutions to all that, Pablo Charlie? Well, if you watch my content, Pablo Charlie, you would know that there's actually a solution already listed on my channel. I did a video and published it earlier. Section 80 of the South African Constitution, since you've asked the question, and I'll interrupt my news broadcast for this. Section 80 of the South African Constitution allows for, actually I have a chart on this. Yeah, where's it at? Here it is. Here it is. Got it. Okay, this is for my video, so I can put this on now. All right. Members of Parliament can actively take their frustrations with legislation to the Constitutional Court directly, skipping everything. Parliament, under Section 80 of the Constitution, go straight to the Constitutional Court, skip the Supreme Court of Appeal, skip all other courts, and go straight to the Constitutional Court for a ruling. And this is how it works. By the way, Freedom Front Plus is leading the charge on this. They've already started the process. Whoops, that's not right. That's wrong. All right, here we go. So an application by members of the National Assembly to the Constitutional Court under Section 80 of South Africa's 1996 Constitution, promulgated, drafted, enacted, and put in place by a majority black ANC government. Section 1. Members of the National Assembly may apply to the Constitutional Court for an order declaring that all or part of an act of Parliament is unconstitutional. However, the application must be supported by at least 1/3 of the members of the National Assembly. And it must be made within 30 days of the date that the President has signed the act. So, 1 day down, we have 29 days. The Freedom Front Plus must cobble together 132 members of Parliament to agree to sign this request to send it to the Constitutional Court. That is a tall order. There are not enough seats, and I'll tell you why. Come on, get out of there. There just aren't enough seats. They're going to need help. They're going to need a lot of help. First off, the DA has 87 seats. The Inkatha Freedom Party, which also opposes this, has 17 seats. The Freedom Front Plus, 6 seats. That's the 3 parties in Parliament who have opposed this on its merits from the very beginning. Action SA now has come out and said they oppose it, and we've heard very adamant comments coming from Athol Trollop, who wasn't available for an interview today. By the way, I did hear back from Neil De Beer. Hang on. No. Okay, so I was supposed to hear back from Neil De Beer. But Action SA with 6 seats has agreed that they're against it, and we can presume that the African Christian Democratic Party would vote to go to the Constitutional Court. That means 87, 17, 6, 6, and 3, 119 votes. That leaves them 13 votes shy. So how could they get more votes? Well, there are other parties that aren't lunatics, but they may not agree to go along with this. And a couple of them would be BOSA, Musi Maimani's Vanity Project, has 2 seats. The UDM under Major General Bantu Holomisa, which I suspect won't do it. I haven't talked to him yet. That's 3 seats. That would give them 5 more. It still leaves them short. That would give them 8 short. And guess what? The Patriotic Alliance has 9 seats in Parliament. So if they could get the Patriotic Alliance to go along, then that would be 14, giving them 133, enough votes to go to the Constitutional Court. That would be a coalition of 8 different parties to pull this off. Now, that is the way it could be done. There's another way it can be done too, folks. And this was actually, I think, possible and likely. It may happen because they're so angry for different reasons and they want this redone. So we'll see if they're going to put their money where their mouth is. But right now, it seems very possible that, what the heck is going on here? I'm missing, something's right. There we go. Okay, I found what I was looking for. Okay, so here's the real possibility here, what could happen. So that group I talked about, not BOSA, not PA, but the DA, IFP, Freedom Front Plus, Action SA, and the ACDP. 2 other parties are very angry, and either one of them would have enough votes to make this go to the Constitutional Court for a reading. That's MK with 58 seats in Parliament, or the EFF with 39. The 2 have 97. Add that to the 119. That's 216. That's over half of Parliament. That would be something to send a very strong message to the Constitutional Court, which would have to evaluate this. But either one of them could join, and it would go. So there you have it. In fact, the DA and the Inkatha Freedom Party don't need the Freedom for Plus, Action SA, or SADP if they get EFF or MK, and they can do this. So that's the first step. Franz Muller, thank you for subscribing. So that's the first step right here, okay? Yeah, the NCC has 3 seats, but I'm not sure that they're going to vote for it. I'm aware of the 3 seats. Yeah, I don't, after the stuff that Fadil Adams had to say, I'm not so confident that they would. So that's the first step. The second step is a legal suit, which is being brought by likely AfriForum, the Democratic Alliance, Action SA, Solidarity, and maybe Dear SA might glom on as a friend of the court with an amicus brief. A lot of people are going to join in this lawsuit that will go to the Constitutional Court to challenge the constitutionality. The constitutionality of this law doesn't exist. It's unconstitutional on its face. And this is why it's unconstitutional, folks. I mean, you cannot do this. This is just nonsense. The South African Constitution, as written, doesn't allow for expropriation without compensation. And here you go, right there. Section 25. Property may be expropriated only in terms of law and general application for a public purpose or in the public interest, subject to compensation. That compensation must be just and equitable. And by the way, property is not just land. Look at the bottom. Property is not limited to land. I've said this 1,000 times. I've been warning South Africans about this for several years, and nobody's listening except a handful of people. Certainly no people in power. And this is what you get. So that law, just passing a law, it doesn't supersede the Constitution. So there's a direct disconnect between this law and the Constitution. Now, the ANC is running around saying this law is in accord with the Constitution. That's why we came up with it. Nonsense. 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 And it would not survive a constitutional review. So the first step is to get 132 members of parliament to send a letter to the Constitutional Court. If that doesn't happen, they have 30 days. If that doesn't happen, then lawsuits come after that. Beyond that, it'll take civil disobedience. It'll take civil disobedience. Yes, I'm aware of that, Carlos, but you have to have 2/3 of the vote. You're not going to get 2/3 of the vote for this one. Well, I suppose you could if MK and EFF came in line with it, but I don't think they're going to do it. They want to expropriate the land and give it to the state so they can get their hands on it because they think they can stay in parliament forever. So that's what it's all about for them. So if it doesn't do that, which it doesn't, they're not going to support it. Mary Cat says we need to hear from Helen Zilla. Well, Helen Zilla is missing in action. Nothing to say. John Steenhuisen is going to speak tomorrow to the public, so we'll hear what he has to say. There are grumblings and sources purported, according to the IOL, inside the Democratic Alliance that there is opposition rising to Steenhuisen's leadership of the party. Now, for some reason, Jordan Hill Lewis felt the need to come out and say, well, I'm not running for, I support John Steenhuisen. When that starts happening, then there may be some legitimacy to what's actually being said and going on here. Yep. What's Orange Grove like now? I have no idea, Carlos. So Durban was such a nice city 40 years ago. Well, Durban was such a nice city 15 years ago, not 40 years ago. All those fragmented parties bogged down any coordinated opposition. Correct, Tom. That's the problem. That's the problem. But this is such a lightning rod issue that it might be one that actually gets something done because it requires no action on the part of these members of parliament. All they have to do is, say they agree that it needs to go before the Constitutional Court, and then they can leave it up to the court, which, But Dee McPherson from the Democratic Alliance is saying, not on my watch. But his deputy is disagreeing. Well, DA leader John Steenhuisen will address deeply concerning expropriation bill concerns on Saturday. That's interesting. So, we have obtained legal opinion that the expropriation bill is unconstitutional. We'll fight this dangerous legislation at every possible means, including the courts, according to Willy Okamp. Tomorrow at a media conference, DA leader John Steenhuisen will outline the next steps in response to this deeply concerning development. DA will unpack our action plan. Well, we're all looking forward to that. Let's see what people will have to say, and I guess that'll be broadcast on the DA's website. If I can, I'll cover it, but it'll probably conflict with my rugby coverage, so rugby comes first. I'm just saying. The Umatuluzi municipality has a problem. The EFF wants its own councillors removed, saying they've been kicked out of the party, but the council won't kick them out. So this is another troubled municipality with no clear majority. ANC has a plurality of seats, but not a majority. The IFP is just behind them. The Umlatuzi municipality, which is on the coast of KZN, is on tenterhooks after the EFF staged a protest to demand the replacement of 3 of their counselors. EFF provincial spokesman Zawi Bloze said that the municipality refused to replace the councillors who were expelled by the party. Bloze explained that following the 2020 local government elections, the EFF secured 6 seats. Umlazi municipalities left hung with no outright winner. So they've kicked their own members out of the party. See, this is why South Africa is not a democracy. It's a lie. It's a fiction. It's a Potemkin village. It's not a democracy. You didn't vote for these people. And they're serving. They may be serving the residents of that municipality very well, but it doesn't matter because they've run afoul of the corrupt, race-hustling EFF for whatever reason, legitimate or otherwise. So they must be removed. You didn't vote for Renaud Khuz. His party put him in parliament. And then they removed him. That's not democracy. That's not democracy. Democracy is you get to vote for your representative and they represent you. You don't vote for political parties and then they pick whoever's going to be respected. That's what South Africa is, not a democracy. We need to stop this fiction right now. Utter nonsense. It is not a democracy. Silly, silly, silly lies. Well, Cape Town Mayor Jordan Hill Lewis says that the SAPs have raided the offices of MMCs. Wow. I note the raid by authorities at the offices of MMCs JP Smith and Zanthea Limberg, who have informed me they've offered full cooperation to SAPs and they have not been made aware of the allegations. I request an urgent briefing from SAPs to understand the details of the matter and determine further actions once this has been received. What is interesting is SAPs raided the office, but these crimes are crimes that the Hawks investigate. Hawks does the corruption investigations. They're the ones that raid offices. Why was this done by SAPs? And what's going on? Meerkat says D. McPherson is part of the GNU. Is he going to take on CR and the turds in the water? Unlikely. Unlikely. Well, mixed messages from D. McPherson. We've talked about that already. Cape Town schoolgirl faces discrimination over blonde braids. There's a child in Cape Town who was an albino. She has albinism. And her hair comes out blonde. And she was told she couldn't braid her hair. Only blacks can braid their hair. Seriously? This is racism directed against a black girl who's an albino. Boy, the treatment of albinos by Africans is twisted and sick, and I'm tired of it. These people have a genetic condition that causes them serious harm. Living as an albino is challenging enough. Disease, susceptibility to ultraviolet radiation, blindness. Stop killing albinos. Stop persecuting albinos. Stop oppressing albinos. It's sick. A Cape Town mom is at her wit's end after her daughter, living with albinism, was kicked out of the classroom because of her hair color. She was called into the Fazeka High School in Guguletu on Tuesday to address the situation. The mom explained that the 14-year-old didn't want to go to school alone on Monday, fearing being taunted by the teachers. Being taunted by teachers. What the frick is wrong? What teachers taunt children? These people need to be sacked immediately and barred from ever teaching it. Who taunts a child? Your job is to educate children, not harass and injure them. My child is extremely unhappy at school. She started there from grade 6 and is now in grade 9. She told me on Monday that the teacher said that all the learners must take off braids which are not black. Her natural hair color is blonde or gold, and so she uses blonde fiber. When she went to school, she asked me to accompany her because she knew the teachers would question the color of her braids. She said she was shocked because the teachers could see that she has blonde hair and she had been in that school for more than a year. She wasn't going to use another color when this one matches her. I went to the school and the teacher said, take off the braids. Since she didn't address me, I decided not to explain why she used that color. An albino can't use brown or black. They would clash. On Tuesday, I was summoned to the school after they barred my child from going to her classroom because she had the blonde braids. I asked if she couldn't see her natural hair color. He then spoke about the school code of conduct. I went to the school and met with the principal. My daughter was sitting with him. So the racist school allows black children to have black braids, but a child cannot have any other color braids. Now, I can understand a prohibition if a child comes in with fuchsia braids because it's not their natural hair color, or comes in with purple because it's not their natural hair color. It's an attempt to draw attention to themselves. But this girl naturally has blonde hair. This is bigotry and horrible, horrible, horrible nonsense. This needs to stop. Eric, you're going to get a timeout for that. Do not put that stuff up. I know that's not a funny joke. Do not repeat that or I will give you a timeout. You've been warned. You've been warned. I asked if he couldn't see her natural hair color. Anyway, so he then spoke about the school code of conduct, went to school and met with the principal. My daughter was sitting with him. He said he could see that her hair color matched her eyebrows and that he would speak to the teachers and other children to not dye or get braids like my daughter's. The Guguletu mom said she was given options of what she could do with her child's hair. They said she could dye her hair black or brown. I told them I couldn't do that because her hair will still be gold when the color fades and the roots will come in. Another teacher suggested she cut her hair. So she has to cut her hair because she's not black enough for them. I said the roots will be brown, but as it grows back, it will turn blonde. I asked why my child has to cut her hair and others don't. Yeah, fair question. She expressed concern that her daughter was feeling suicidal due to discrimination related to her hair color. It's just fucking insane. Leave this child alone. Good God. My daughter was so hurt that she said she'd rather die or drop out of school than bear this pain. I've always told my child that she must fight back when people talk about her albinism because I'm not always going to be around. I didn't ask my child to be born with blonde hair. Counselor Tembinkosi Mjuza said after hearing about this, he visited the school. What I gathered on Thursday was that this was a he said thing. What? We don't do as we please in these institutions. We are guided by policies, and if this is about policies, we need to interrogate that. The issue of hair was a natural problem which we had just dealt with. We will hold more meetings until this is resolved. Yeah, all right. Well, this is pure harassment of an albino. This is nonsense. Utter nonsense. Knock it off. Ernst Rutz from AfriForum has posted the following. Parks Towel says the South African government's initiative to source $100 billion from the private sector to start government-administered Blacks Only Fund reflects the intent of the government of national unity, which includes the Democratic Alliance and the Freedom Front Plus. This is a problem with going into bed with the ANC. You sleep with dogs, you get fleas. Awkward Leon, why do they only allow black students to have braids? It's a good question, Awkward Leon. The child apparently is black, but she's an albino. And as a result, her natural hair color is blonde. And so that's just bigotry and racism. And do that to a child. These people are twisted and sick. It's bad enough kids harass kids. Well, Benedict Cumberbatch, the English actor who played Sherlock among many other roles, and Dr. Strange is another role of his, Benedict Cumberbatch was kidnapped and nearly murdered in South Africa 20 years ago, and it still haunts him to this day. Benedict Cumberbatch, the beloved actor behind Marvel's Doctor Strange, revealed that being abducted by 6 men while filming in South Africa more than 2 decades ago continues to haunt him. It made me go, oh yeah, right, I could die at any moment. Wow. The 48-year-old actor was filming a miniseries for the BBC in 2004 called To the Ends of the Earth. Between recordings, he went on a driving excursion with some friends. Things were going smoothly until their car got a flat tire in the middle of nowhere. Criminals then ambushed them and forced the group to sit as if waiting to be executed. Then they fled with a stolen vehicle. He had no physical harm, but he's still dealing with psychological wounds more than 20 years later. Yep. Nobody's safe in South Africa. Helen Zilla, John Steenhuisen. The toilet paper record says a big leadership shakeup is in the cards. Kamagelo Mochiela is reporting on this. Rumors that there is something afoot in the DA. A source within the DA told the Independent Online that several members were not happy with Steenhuisen's leadership style, especially after entering government. Arrogance is one of the main reasons that they don't want him. Well, that doesn't surprise me. Turning our attention to neighboring Botswana, they are now going to ban foreign nationals from teaching or driving trucks. Yeah, that's going to fix the problems. Not. A Botswana official said this week that the nation will no longer issue work permits to foreign teachers and truck drivers in order to protect local jobs. Does that include university lecturers? I wonder. Minister of Labor and Home Affairs Pius Mokware told a group of unemployed teachers protesting in Gaborone that the government already has stopped issuing permits to foreign educators and truck drivers. Tabang Kopelo, who is representing the unemployed teachers, said they want the new government, which took office in October, to take a step further. We demand the cancellation and immediate suspension of issuing work permits to teachers who come from outside Botswana. There are already thousands and thousands of local teachers. The group's actions aren't xenophobic, they said, but a plea for the government to prioritize citizens in hiring teachers. You know, the problem with that story is that private schools hire foreign teachers because they're good, and Botswana teachers are not. There's a reason for that. Government schools are shit in Botswana. They really are. They're not very good. That's why everyone wants to send their kids to private schools and pay the school fees. That's why. Like Lahai in Gaborone, full of kids. No shortage of students there. Parents sending their kids there to get a proper education instead of sending them to a government school, where first off, language instruction is in Setswana. And most people who have the means want their kids to be taught in English. So they send them to English medium schools where foreign teachers are the order of the day. According to figures from government offices, Botswana, there are 4,581 holders of foreign work permits in Botswana, with teachers comprising 18% of the total. 18%. So a country of 2.3 million people, and there are 4,500 work permits for foreign nationals. This is xenophobia out of control. Unbelievable. And so 4,581 times 0.18 means what, 1,000? 824. 825 teachers in Botswana. In a country of 2.3 million with a student population of over 800,000. There are 800 teachers. Good God. Yes, Mike, you're late. We covered it. I put it up, but we'll jump back to it real quick. Is the concert still going on? Let's see.
And so we started Unspoken and started traveling around from.
There you go. Still on. We're covering the March for Life.
Subways, nursing homes, anywhere we could go and say, listen to what God has done. And tonight, or this morning, we usually play at night, so you're going to continue to hear me say it's 20 years of saying tonight.
Well, yeah, it's not tonight, buddy. So that's ongoing, the March for Life. Yeah, they're in the studio. Let's see if they're outside now. Back to the march. No, they're still in the studio. Okay. All right. Well, back to where I was at. So anyway, there you have it. Lesotho's king has rocked up at Davos. That's interesting. What's he doing in Davos? What's the king doing in Lesotho? King Letsi III. Lesotho's King Letsi III is in Davos to promote his green energy fund. The aim of the fund is to boost private investment in solar energy and hydropower throughout Lesotho. They're on the front lines of climate change. Yes, yes, indeed. The monarch traveled from his landlocked mountain kingdom within southern Africa to promote his green energy fund in meetings with business and political leaders in the Swiss Alpine village. Well, good luck to King Letsi. Let's see what can happen there. Gabon will hold elections on April 12th. Gabon's transitional government said presidential elections would be held on April 12th, a key step to reestablish civilian rule after a coup ended the Bongo dynasty decades-long reign. Voting will start at 7 a.m. and end at 6 p.m. in line with current law. The oil-rich Central African country, which had been under the rule of Bongo family for 55 years, adopted a new constitution in a November referendum. It provides for a maximum of 2 7-year presidential terms, no prime minister, and no dynastic transfer of power. There you go. The new law allowed military officials to stand in elections subject to certain conditions. That's interesting. Can't do that in America. Rwanda's backed M23 rebels are encircling the city of Goma. This is going to get ugly in the eastern DRC, folks. The M23 armed group has seized further territory in the eastern part of the DRC and was continuing to tighten its grip on the provincial capital of Goma, which is almost completely surrounded by fighting. This is going to go very badly for Rwanda. The chocolate industry is in trouble. And Ivory Coast, the largest producer of cocoa in the world, expects a dire crop this year. Must be climate change. Ivory Coast expects to record one of the worst mid-crop cocoa harvests the last 15 years, with production seen no higher than 300,000 metric tons, compared with an average annual yearly output of 500,000. A poor harvest could add upward pressure on cocoa prices, which are already around record highs after nearly tripling last year. Analysts have said the chocolate industry is in for a rough 2025 that could see shelf price increase by a percentage in the teens. Ivory Coast is the world's top cocoa producer, but a lack of rain, excessive heat since November across its 13 growing regions have stalled development of the mid-crop harvest. Climate change. Yeah, well, what will happen is that demand for chocolate will plummet, and then the price will go back down. A massive jailbreak in South Sudan. 600 prisoners escape amid chaos and protest and looting in Juba. Almost 200 people arrested in recent protests descended into looting in South Sudan remain on the loose following a huge jailbreak. Wow. Anger spread across the country with officers opening fire to disperse crowds and later arresting scores, although the exact number detained was never confirmed. Police spokesman John Cassaro said Wednesday that 600 of those arrested in connection with the looting broke out of the military detention facility in Juba at around 9:30. 550 are civilians and 50 are members of organized forces, meaning they're members of the armed forces or the police. So they were part of the looting? Well, that's not good. That's never a good thing. Saudi Arabia says it will invest $600 billion in the United States. Oh, the Trump effect continues. Donald Trump said he might ask Saudi to increase its planned investment in the U.S. to about $1 trillion. Well, look at there. Whoa, there's a super chat. Those are rare. Let's notice that. George Steinberg, 350 Rand. Thank you for that. That's very kind of you. Very, very kind of you. Thank you, George. Saudi Arabian Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman told President Trump that his kingdom will invest $600 billion in the United States over the next 4 years. So that's $150 billion a year. Yeah, there you go. Prince Mohammed congratulated Trump on his inauguration. He said the investment may increase when more opportunities arise. Cool beans. So, fear-mongering. CNN is once again fear-mongering. Climate change, baby. Oh, yeah, climate change. Yes, what's going on? Fears that the world's largest iceberg could hit an island. The South Georgia Island, unoccupied, uninhabited, could be hit by the world's largest iceberg. Well, maybe. Maybe. Wow, the world's largest iceberg is still on the move, and there are fears that it could head north from Antarctica toward the island of South Georgia, which was attacked by the Argentines in the Falkland Islands War. Did you guys know about the Falkland Islands War? Back in the 1980s, the height of the Iron Ladies' rule of England. The iceberg called the A23 Alpha. Can't you give it a cool name like Lisa or Diana? Nope, A23 Alpha was previously trapped spinning around an undersea mountain for several months, according to Andrew Myers. Now it appears it's moving with the prevailing current towards South Georgia, a British overseas territory in the South Atlantic Ocean. It's presently in a meander of the current and not moving directly towards the island. These become an issue because I don't know where these are until I find them. Ice is very dangerous. The bigger it is, the easier it is to find and avoid. Smaller ice is much harder. Duh! It's unlikely to gain or again move towards the island soon. Wow. It's the largest in the world, according to measurements. Spanning an area of 3,672 square kilometers when measured in August, the slightly smaller than Rhode Island and more than twice the size of London. Wow. It's been carefully tracked since 1986, since it broke away from the Filcher-Rhone ice shelf. So this iceberg's been around since 1986. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're melting the icebergs. The icebergs are coming. The polar bears. There's no polar bears in the South. Oh, no, the penguins. 1986 has been floating around, and now they're worried about it. Yeah, okay. All right. There you go. Here's a picture of it from space. You can actually see it in space. It's huge. That's an image of it taken in November of 2023. That's a big-ass iceberg. You want to stay away from that one. Someone want reparations. We stole the iceberg. Well, the colonizers, the settlers stole the iceberg. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Yes, 23 Alpha is such a romantic name, Tom. I would call it Lisa. Nearly 1 million homes and businesses across Ireland are out of power thanks to a storm, knocking out power lines. Ooh. So all the illegal aliens will feel right at home back in Africa. ESB networks in Ireland and NIE networks say they expect significant further outages as the storm Ewan continues to batter parts of the Emerald Isle. Almost 1 million homes, farms, and businesses in the Republic of Northern Ireland are without power as record-breaking wind speeds swept across the island. 725,000 customers affected in the Republic and 240,000 in Northern Ireland. Wind speeds of 183 kilometers per hour recorded in Ireland. Wow, that's the fastest speed since records were kept a mere 120 years ago. Juicy Trudeau threatens America. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me express my fear over Canada's threatened tariffs. Pshaw. Bring it on. Ice, ice, baby. The outgoing Prime Minister, Juicy Trudeau, promised a strong and robust response if the U.S. falls through on a 25% tariff on Canadian products. Well, the clock is ticking here, sweetheart. You have 1 week to get your act together. Speaking to reporters in Ottawa, Trudeau promised Canada would counter with a strong and robust response if newly inaugurated President Trump were to make good on his promised tariffs. Whether it be back on January 20th or on February 1st or February 15th as Valentine's Day's present, or on April 1st, whenever. We don't want this, but we will respond if necessary. Well, we don't care what you have to say, Juicy. You're gone. And hopefully you'll be indicted and prosecuted for your crimes against Canadians. Yeah, and violating the basic Charter of Rights. Amazon is closing all 7 warehouses in Quebec, taking away 1,700 jobs, and the Canadians are crying about it. Big tears. The e-commerce giant said the move would provide even more savings to our customers over the long run. But a Canadian union that successfully unionized one warehouse accused the company of closing its sites to fend off organizing efforts in the region. Closures will eliminate 1,700 permanent full-time jobs in the greater Montreal area. The warehouses also employ 250 temps workers. Yep. So they would enlist local third-party companies to deliver packages, reverting to the business model it used in Quebec before 2020. This decision wasn't made lightly, and we're offering impact employees a package that includes up to 14 weeks of pay after facilities close and transitional benefits like job placement resources. Transitional benefits? Does that include gender reassignment surgery? Well, migrants are upset and bemoan the deactivation of the American Invasion application, the CBP1 mobile app. And this is what I have to say about that. Too bad. Too bad. So sad. You want asylum? Go to Turkey. You want asylum? Go to Guatemala. You want asylum? Go to the closest safe harbor. You're not getting an app to invade my country. That time is over. Me, tragically concerned about the demise of the CBP1 app. Nope. Well, hundreds of illegal criminals have now been deported. They've been arrested and flown out of the United States. Hundreds of illegal criminals in the United States were arrested Thursday, and hundreds of others were flown out of the country on military aircraft. In a post on Twitter Thursday night, White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt, boy, she's a really attractive press secretary. Oh, that was out of bounds. The Trump administration arrested 538 illegal immigrant criminals, including a suspected terrorist, 4 members of the Tren de Agua group, and several illegals convicted of sex crimes against minors. Meanwhile, defense officials said there were 2 flights overnight. Both went to Guatemala, according to 2 sources, and carried 81 deportees. However, Guatemalan officials said 79 Guatemalans had returned, 31 women and 48 men. Leavitt stated the Trump administration also deported hundreds of illegal immigrant criminals via military aircraft. The largest massive deportation operation in history is well underway. Yep, Tren de Agua, they are losing their members. Estimated 11 million undocumented immigrants. They are not undocumented immigrants. They are criminal alien invaders, and there are at least 14 to 20 million of them here. Trump is headed to California, folks, to view wildfire devastation, his first presidential trip of his second term. Speaking to reporters before departing the White House today, he said the fires could have been put out, but they still haven't for whatever reason. It would be fine if they returned the water on, he said. They're going to take care of Los Angeles. Yeah, well, Grissom Gavin Newsom is nowhere to be found. He's silent when he's not busy attacking Trump. President Trump has pardoned 23 anti-abortion activists who were unduly punished for minor acts. President Trump has pardoned 23 anti-abortion activists, including some convicted of blockading a reproductive health clinic and intimidating staff and patients. Oh, they got in the way. They sat on the sidewalk. And for that, they must go to a federal penitentiary for 5 years. That's what happened. The evil Biden regime prosecuted people for sitting on a sidewalk, a public sidewalk, because it was in front of an abortion clinic, because of an unconstitutional law passed by Congress years ago, which makes it a felony. Sent to prison, taking mothers away from their infant children and putting them in prison for 5 years because they're trying to protest, constitutionally guaranteed First Amendment right, protest the murder of children. Wow. He described the convictions as ridiculous, but abortion rights campaigners said the move was evidence of his opposition to abortion access. We don't care what abortion murderers want. The orders came a day before anti-abortion protesters are due to come to Washington for the annual March to Life, which is currently underway. Signing the pardons, Trump said to the activists they should not have been prosecuted. Many of them are elderly people. This is a great honor to sign this. They'll be very happy. U.S. media report that one of those pardoned is Lauren Handy, leader of the group Progressive Anti-Abortion Uprising. The group was convicted of conspiring in 2020 to storm a Washington reproductive health clinic and block access to intimidate patients and staff. Members forced their way into the clinic, injuring a nurse, and spent several hours inside. Oh, I'm sorry. What, is that where they burned down the building and they raped the staff? Oh, they didn't burn the building down. They didn't rape anybody. Yeah, that's trespassing. That's trespassing. And that's a misdemeanor. Yeah. The president of the soon-to-be anti-pro-life American, Marjorie Dannenfelser, said the protesters were targeted by Biden's Justice Department and thanked Trump for immediately delivering on his promise. Yep. Yeah, what the story doesn't tell you is that people are sent to prison, federal prison, as convicted felons for sitting on a freaking sidewalk. Unbelievable. Well, one January 6th defendant who is in pardon is still in jail. This one's bizarre. Look, I think the guy probably should be in jail, but Daniel Ball is still in custody. He was never released despite Trump's order. A man charged of the January 6th breach of the Capitol is still in custody after prosecutors brought fresh charges in the wake of Trump's pardons. But he's been pardoned for the crimes he's being charged with. So how can he be detained in prison? He was arrested while in prison on January 22nd after not being released, 2 days after he was not released by these out-of-control penitentiary or detention officials. He was arrested on charge of illegally possessing a gun and ammunition despite previous felony charges. The problem is he doesn't have a gun. The gun was discovered in May of 2023, but he's been in prison since after that time. And this is related to the January 6th events, which he was pardoned for. Look, I'm not arguing for pardon for the guy, but I think that these officials need to be looked at because they're violating a direct, lawful, constitutional order from the President of the United States. The United States Department of Education is removing DEI. Yay. Why don't you remove yourself while you're at it, Department of Education? They've taken action to eliminate harmful diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, including references to them in public-facing communication channels and its associated workforce. Wow. There you go. Notable actions the department has taken: dissolution of the department's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Council, dissolution of the Employee Engagement, Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Accessibility Council, cancellation of ongoing DEI training, withdrawal of the department's Equity Action Plan, placement of career department staff tasked with implementing the previous DEI initiatives on paid administrative leave, and identification for removal of over 200 web pages from the department's website that house DEI resources. Woke is getting pummeled. The Associated Press says it will say Mount McKinley, but it won't say the Gulf of America. Of course, these media outlets are the ones that capitalized the adjective black when describing Americans. A black American is not capital B, capital A. It's lowercase b, it's an adjective, and uppercase A. They're not black, they're Americans. They're black Americans. Just like whites, they're not capitalized. This racist damage to the language is tiring. You know, it's like the change of apartheid. Apartheid is a proper title. But to try to diminish apartheid, which is just silly because people should know what it was, good and bad, most media outlets now use a lowercase letter when putting apartheid up. But that is grammatically incorrect. And I'm tired of the leftists trying to destroy this language. It's uppercase for apartheid. It's lowercase for black. It's lowercase for white. Hispanic is different. That's a proper name. Native American, proper name. Anyway. Boy, the AP will recognize Mount McKinley, but not the Gulf of America. Yep. The Associated Press says that they're not going to do it because that is a name that's been there for more than 400 years, says Amanda Barrett, Vice President of Standards and Inclusion at the Wire Service. Associated Press will refer to it by its original name while acknowledging the new name Trump has chosen. All right, there you go. So they'll recognize what Trump said, but they won't report that. Well, the truth comes out about the Hunter Biden laptop as journalists finally tell the truth, and they should be removed from the media. Their credentials should be rescinded. Now the truth comes out. Reporters admit Politico snuffed out Hunter Biden laptop story to protect Joe Biden. Yep. Lest anyone still have doubts, two ex-Politico reporters just confirmed how the media went to protect Joe Biden prior to the election in 2020. It's solid proof that these outlets can't be trusted. On a podcast this week, Axios' Mark Caputo and Puck's Tara Palmari revealed that Politico intentionally killed or resisted negative stories about Biden and his son, citing, for instance, its limited coverage of the post-election eve scoop of Hunter Biden's laptop. So, yep. The 51 spies who lied, ex-Intel officials who signed an open letter that trashed the post-laptop scoop as Russian information operation, gave the media cover. Yep, all lies. And these people should be prosecuted for this. They should lose their license to operate it. Well, Costco shareholders, in a implausible and unbelievable release of voting regarding DEI, supposedly 98% of Costco shareholders voted to retain the racist DEI policies. I find that implausible, to say the least. And it's time to buy some Costco shares to change this. Costco shareholders voted strongly against a proposal requesting a report on the risk of maintaining its diversity and inclusion initiatives. According to Costco, more than 98% of shareholders voted to keep DEI at the annual meeting. Really? Really? I find that highly unlikely. TRICARE, the medical insurance provider for the military, is failing. Surprise, surprise, not. TRICARE West problems are actively harming military readiness, not to mention harming veterans who rely on the services. Representative Marilyn Strickland, a Democrat of Washington State, said beneficiaries experiencing unending delays in reaching TRICARE West customer service, inoperable or overloaded websites, and unable to process payments, and an incomplete network of providers. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you that TRICARE West is the only problem. This here is the 15th bill I've received from a provider because TRICARE has not paid them. I had an authorization a year and a half ago, or excuse me, a little over a year ago. I had an authorization. I went, I got the care, 10 minutes I was there. All he did was give me a prescription and look at my foot. That was it. And I'm still getting billed because TRICARE didn't pay it. This affects my credit. So my only option is to pay for this bill for care that is not my obligation to pay. That's where we sit with this, because TRICARE is useless. The visit cost $90. I paid $37 out of pocket, which is my copay. That's my responsibility. And that left $70. What's going on here? So TRICARE adjusted, they paid $29. So I'm being billed for $53. I don't get the TRICARE adjustment. It doesn't make any sense. This is nonsense. See, this is the crap that goes on. So TRICARE is not just TRICARE West, it's just TRICARE across the board. 15 letters, 15 bills. I've gone to the medical practice twice and asked them about this, and they told me not to worry about that. They're not going to do a collection action against me. But it still hangs out there. I still have to worry about it. This is ridiculous. This is how we treat our veterans. Well, we're losing the ability to write. Handwriting is disappearing. Well, I know my handwriting sucks. Signature moves. Are we losing the ability to write by hand? We are far more likely to use our hands to type or swipe than pick up a pen, but in the process, we're in danger of losing cognitive skills, sensory experience, and a connection to history. Well, I agree we are. I get cramps when I write. It's not very good. Very terrible. This is a long story. Anyway. Wow. Yeah, no, it's not good. We're losing our handwriting ability. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't usually like to do Hollywood rumors, but I found this one interesting. Jennifer Aniston of Friends fame apparently is dating Barack Obama. Have you heard this one? Is handwriting racist? Being left-handed is satanic, is it not? Tracy Wolf says, do you think Trump releasing those criminals who attacked the police officer in the service to defend the country is fair? Well, Tracy, your question is illegitimate. Be specific. Be specific. So Jennifer Aniston apparently is dating Barack Obama. That's the rumor. Speculation is revived earlier this month when Michelle Obama was notably absent from Barack Obama's side at the state funeral of former President Carter. Speculation about a possible romance between former President Obama and actress Jennifer Aniston sparked widespread attention online. The rumor, which first surfaced last year after In Touch magazine published an eye-catching piece titled The Truth About Jen and Barack, has gained momentum once again. An old video of Aniston addressing the variety of rumors and tabloid stories about herself during her appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Show has resurfaced. Interesting. So, who cares? So, Tracy, back to your question. All right. Your question was, do you think Trump releasing those criminals who attacked the police officers in the service of defending the country is fair? What criminals? Whom are you talking about? The 1,500 pardons, there were 14 commutations. It's difficult to answer your question. First off, let's correct the narrative, Tracy. The vast majority of people who were prosecuted by the federal government attacked no one. They committed no violent acts. The vast majority of them either didn't go in the building or walked in the building when the police let them in. That notwithstanding, there were people who broke into the building. We saw the video footage of people who occupied offices illegally, illegitimately, and people who did attack police. I offered. Now, I know you're talking about January 6th, Tracy, but I'm trying to be polite and respectful because your question is open-ended and it's not helpful. I'm trying to frame it now. So, most of the people who did attack police officers serve a longer sentence than the law prescribes. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. And that's because they enhanced it with a bunch of bogus nonsense. I mean, first off, Enrique Tarrio was given 22 years in prison, and he wasn't even present. He was accused of sedition. They didn't prove sedition, but they put him in prison for 22 years. He's now out on the street. There were people who attacked police officers using fire hydrants, grabbing the police officers' batons, spraying mace, throwing water bottles at the police. Those people should serve a prison sentence. But 16 years for throwing a plastic water bottle at a police officer who is beating a protester is hardly a reasonable sentence. I'm usually not a fan of criminals, but this was beyond the pale. Just like the prosecution of the anti-abortion protesters sitting on a sidewalk, sent to prison for 5 years. That shouldn't be a prison sentence. That should be a fine and maybe some community service, 30 days community service. That's what that should be. That's what what did the violent protesters get who burned Minneapolis, who torched police stations, attacked police officers in the streets, murdered people during the Summer of Love in 2020? Get nothing. Almost none of them were prosecuted because they're on the political left. So most of the people in the Capitol building, it's bogus. Brandon Straka was threatened with 33 years of federal prison with enhancements. His life was over. What did Brandon Straka do? He walked on a public sidewalk on the east side, or the south side. Was it east side? Hang on a second. Yeah, on the east side. He walked on a public sidewalk on the east side of the Capitol building where he observed people, and he filmed 8 minutes of video. Police officers recognized him as a noted conservative commentator on social media, targeted him. They accused him of assaulting police officers, didn't do it. They accused him of inciting violence, claiming he encouraged people to go into the building, didn't do it. They have no evidence of that whatsoever. But they threatened him with pre-trial detention and that his case would not go to trial for ages and then he would spend 33 years in prison. So he took a plea bargain. And in the plea bargain, he was forced to allocute and lie. He had to lie and say he did it even though he didn't do it. So they have a record of him saying he beat police officers, he entered the building. He didn't do any of that. There's no evidence of that. The only evidence of that is the government used the weight of the government to threaten him and his liberty. This is perverse. This is sick. The people who beat police officers should serve prison sentences, but not 22 years. What about the police officers? Well, I'm not going to go into that. Anyway, so Tracy, did I answer your question? Because your question was so open-ended. It looked like it was coming from a leftist. Oh, PK said most of them serve. Yeah, most of them serve longer sentences than the law prescribes for what they did. Big Mike must be pissed. Guess you go black. Yeah, I heard about it too, Erica, but I just kind of ignored it. It was using an excuse to stop the questioning. The certification insurrection was inside the chamber. Yep, Tom, that's correct. It was used as an excuse. Remember Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? You know, we all want to date her. She's such a hottie. Not. AOC was trembling. She wet her panties. She was so terrified that she was going to be killed when she was in the Rayburn office building across the street, heavily guarded, no protesters there. The only way to get there was through a tunnel underground, which was defended by armed officers. She was never in any jeopardy. Her life was never in any threat. But she still crapped her pants because she's a fraud. These people were in prison for 4 years. Exactly. But not only that, PK, there are people who were in prison that were never charged with a crime. That's a violation of the Constitution. You cannot detain people indefinitely. You must charge them or release them. We have people kept in solitary confinement for 23. The psychological damage done to the people who committed no crime. But they wouldn't allocute and say, well, I did this, because they didn't do it. God bless. Did a poo on the sidewalk. What? Once in New York because I was really drunk and my dog died. And it seemed like, what the hell are you talking about? Oh, Nancy Pelosi wasn't pardoned. That's true. 82 people here. I know all the turncoats went to Ronaldo. That's where they went. Anyway, AOC was in such danger in her own mind. Yeah, she's a danger to herself. She thinks very highly of herself. She's one of the dumbest people in Congress, but there are dumber ones. I'll tell you that. Anyway, so they were in prison without the legal prison. Exactly, PK. Exactly right. You cannot put people in prison. It definitely. You have a certain period of time. Yet they got away with it. And not only that, they put them in prison. The white January 6th people were put in prison with racist black DC correctional officers who beat them, who starved them. Reports, not substantiated, but reported to congressmen that correctional guards urinated in their food. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Now, I've never seen that validated, but there were complaints of that to members of Congress. They denied members of Congress access to the DC jail. That's illegitimate. It's illegal. DC is under the control, the direction of Congress, and they denied members of Congress access to these people. What was done here is a crime. And everybody who wasn't given a pardon should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And the preemptive pardons, we need to challenge that in court. That's not legal. It's not legitimate. Yep. So let me just go real quick there and see if I can't find, that's not what I want. Let's see if I can't find this from my Twitter account. I posted it yesterday. I need one of these. I need a window. It's over here. Come on. There we go. All right. Let me go to Twitter. X. There we go. Twitter. My profile. And let's see what I posted there. Here it is. All right. We must challenge Joe Biden's bogus preemptive pardons in court. Even the leftist Brookings Institute agrees they are dubious. Well, they did when they thought Trump would issue preemptive pardons back in 2021. But now the left is silent. This from Richard Lempert, a constitutional attorney, law attorney. He wrote this for the Brookings Institute in January of 2021 to ensure that Trump couldn't do preemptive pardons. There are several reasons to expect that a broad preemptive pardon would be held invalid. A pardon which doesn't specify in sufficient detail the offenses pardoned conflicts with the notion that accepting a pardon is an implicit admission of guilt. It's hard to say that a person who has accepted a pardon for any offense he or she may have committed has admitted guilt to an offense when we don't know what wrongful behavior has been acknowledged. Moreover, judicial language justifying preemptive pardons appears to have pardons for specific offenses in mind. In addition, it's unlikely that the framers would have vested in the president the power to issue pardons for offenses of which he was unaware. Amnesties, which can benefit people whose identities are unknown, must nevertheless specify the offenses that are forgiven. Nevertheless, the question of how specifically a pardon must detail the pardon crimes remains open, and the Nixon pardon, which has been generally accepted as legitimate, may figure importantly in any judicial discussion. So, Joe Biden's preemptive pardons are likely illegitimate. Yep. That's the bottom line there. All right. Tommy Robinson could be experiencing the exact same thing. Yep, there's a guy who committed suicide. There's a guy in Pennsylvania who committed suicide because he was going to go to jail, and they didn't do anything. Arctic says, we read and cover. Yeah, I'll read them. I'm more interested in the RFK files and the Martin Luther King files than I am the JFK. I'm not a buff of the JFK conspiracy stuff, but I will read them when they're available. Yep. What else? EWC fight back video. Yeah, there you go. Is she still hiding under a desk? I don't know. Congress needs a good bartender. Well, they've got one, AOC. South Africa wants to overtax booze to prevent road accidents. Well, that's not going to prevent road accidents. Fix the roads and license people properly. If they're not prepared to drive, don't give them a license. Yeah. If you attack a police officer, well, many states it's actually a felony, so you got to be careful on that one. Yep. What else? What have I missed here in the chat? So, Tracy, I think I answered your question. Did I not? If I didn't, let me know. Bill Ding says, I find an African-American very offensive as an African. They're Americans and have no ties to Africa. 100%, Bill. 100%. 100%. Black and white are colors. Exactly, Mark. When is the Epstein list? Yeah, that's interesting. When will that happen? Matthew says 2 + 2 = 5. Well, that's pretty much what I came up with. Start calling Canada by their proper name. Matthew. Stop that. That's not funny. Sedgefield's here. Welcome to you. All right. It's sad. The people always suffer dumb government rule. Hope the people who lost their jobs go to Trudeau house and ask him for the money they've lost every day. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, Trudeau's a nasty, evil person. So, Epstein files. We'll see. Let me take a gander at what's going on the channel while we've been chatting away and doing the news here. Okay, we've gained 10 more subscribers while we're doing that. That's some good news. And let's take a look at the videos. So, expropriation without compensation views. And where are we at on that one now? We're inching up towards that 20,000 threshold, which, man, it should be 200,000. But anyway, we're at 19,386. So we dropped down to about 200 per hour, which would mean we need another 3 hours to get to 20,000. So we should make it today, all things being equal. The second video, which I did last night, politicians rush to make excuses. That one is still going strong, although it's about half the pace it was an hour ago. So now it's down under 1,000 per hour, and we're at 15,200 on that. So that's slowing down. You need to keep going. All right. So there's that one. And then the one I posted this morning, a short while ago, what's this? Checks? Are they still running? That can't be right. They're still running the checks? I loaded this an hour and a half ago, and they're still checking my video. Are you serious, YouTube? But despite that, the video has 1,800 views. There's something wrong with YouTube. I don't think I'm being targeted. I just think there's something wrong with them. Chip Roy just told Democrats, if you don't like pardoning every J6 person, you shouldn't have let Biden criminalize the justice system. Ooh, that was well stated. Chip Roy is a true patriot from Texas. What's your ideal subs count? Meerkat? 250,000. 250,000. Yep. Random question. Did that one congresswoman senator eventually figure out how his Wi-Fi at home works? And did the other side figure out where Continuum FM? I'm not familiar with those two stories. Sorry. Trump removes modern day Dr. Mengele, Dr. Flip Flop Fauci. Security clearance, good. Modern day Mengele. Yeah, there you go. Yep. Yeah, so that's what's going on with those. But, it's good for the channel where we gained a little bit of attention here. 47,000 views in the last 48 hours, and almost all of them came. I averaged about 150 views an hour without me putting any videos up, but then got busy yesterday with, 3,500 per hour. That really makes a big difference. We get 47,000 in the last day, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, so yeah, thanks for all those who've joined us and those who are watching the videos. I appreciate that. I'll keep making them, and hopefully they'll keep performing well. What is this? So this is just populist electioneering. I don't know about that. Yeah, there you go. Xavier said the following, so hang on a second. Very concerning that many South African citizens see expropriation without compensation only as soil, in other words, land. My understanding, and he says he's an attorney, property consists of everything. Financial instruments, bank accounts, shares, pension funds. Yeah, let's take a minute on the last one. Bottom line, ANC's bankrupt. South Africa's technically bankrupt, and that's why they sold South Africa's foreign policy to take on Israel and the ICC. They need money, correct? And the biggest cash cow, the Holy Grail, is the last treasure chest of pension funds. Yep. History shows us lots of examples of expropriation and compensation without compensation that have not worked. It's an evil process. It's an evil concept that has harmed so many countries. All right, folks, we've got rugby tomorrow. Let's take a look at that. I haven't checked the times that. Okay, so we've got a few games to cover tomorrow. I think I've got 2 going on at the same time, which would present a problem for me. But let's take a look and see. So Friday, we got the Osprey versus Benetton coming up in 2 hours. I won't be covering that. Tomorrow at 7:45 my time, it's the Lions hosting the Bulls. That's going to be huge. And then at 12 o'clock, it's Leinster and the Stormers. And at 12:15, it's Cardiff and the Sharks. So I'm only going to be able to cover 2 games. 2 games. Yep. Because, well, at least for South Africa. So I'll be, and there's a big break. That's weird. I don't know why that's happening like that. So 8 to 10, and then I'll have 2 hours. So I guess I'll do news tomorrow because I'll have a break between rugby games. But the Bulls and Lions from Emirates Ellis Park, and then Leinster and the Stormers from Aviva Stadium in Dublin. Yeah, I won't be able to cover the Sharks, but I'll update as it goes along. So apologies for that, folks, but I can't be in 2 places at once. Other games that might be interesting, not really. There's no real good matchups this weekend, so that's what I'll be covering this weekend. So it's a light weekend for me on Rugby Ascendant, so that's kind of cool. And we're down to 71. Where you all going, man? Feel bad for Cardiff. Why is that, Matthew? They're going to win. The compensation law with that, the 3 compensation, or I'm not sure which law you're talking about. Robert Franken Moore, a little late. Yeah, you are a bit tardy there. Yeah, Mayor Cat says, get me on Joe Rogan. Yeah, get me on Joe Rogan. You guys need to ask for me on there and tell him, if I was on Joe Rogan, woo, baby, we'd have 1 million subscribers. Oh, we'd get to 250,000 just like that. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, no, it'd be fantastic. People come in here, it'd be fantastic. And, Matt, that would be so cool. I'd be able to make money off this channel, and we'd just start, doing more professional things. I'd hire a PA. I'd build a proper studio. Yeah, that'd be so cool. Would the government not have to change the Constitution for this? Yes, Ronell, they do. It's unconstitutional. I've said that. That's why it won't withstand a constitutional challenge, provided the government isn't captured. But, the Constitution is quite clear on this issue, and I'll bring it up again. I'm glad I made these charts because I'm making a lot of money off these now. A phrase, that's an expression. I'm not making any money, but they're saving me a lot of time by having these. So let's take a look at this. This is what the Constitution says. Section 25, South Africa's 1996 Constitution, drafted, voted on, approved, and promulgated by a majority black ANC, says that no one may be deprived of property except under this section. And property can only be expropriated for a public purpose or in the public interest and must be subject to compensation, which must be just and equitable. In other words, you have to pay people. And here are the conditions in which you can actually do expropriation. Listen here. Property is not limited to land. Not limited to land, which is what Xavier was saying in his comments on my video, which is what I said. So there you go. There you go. Stormers by 10, Matthew. Man, what are you drinking? I'm a Stormers fan, but I don't see that happening. Come on, there we go. I don't see that happening at all. Stormers by 10. That just ain't going to happen, man. That'd be nice. Only 381 people came today. Wow, what's going on with that? But people are staying. You're here for an average of 18 minutes and 43 seconds. That's pretty darn good, folks. Thanks for that. Jump back on. Had to chase the dog. You're chasing a dog. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. BJ Forster turned his back on Rhodesia. Yes, Forster did. Oh, if you could see things now. Yep. Yeah, that's why Rhodesia ended, because the South Africans withdrew access to the ports. They pulled back the British South Africa police, and they cut back on pilots, and they really crippled the Rhodesian Front's ability to defend itself. But that was a losing battle anyway. It's a losing battle. And if Ian Smith and the Rhodesian Front, when they declared Universal Declaration of Independence, had set a reasonable path for, say, a decade to extend the vote to black Zimbabweans and change the laws, they would have survived. They would have survived. Yeah, if EWC stays in place, you are screwed. Yeah, for so many reasons. So many. Ronaldo isn't doing a live? What are you talking about? He's scheduled to do a live. He was scheduled to go live at 12. Something must have happened. Let me see. Ronaldo. Yeah, he was scheduled today, 30 minutes ago. Kom ons praten bikkie kak. Oh, it says tomorrow now. Oh, I see. Okay, my bad. All right, well, then where'd all these people go? They ran off somewhere at the top of the hour. We had 100, and we're down to 70-something. Where did they go? So this is interesting. Ronaldo's expropriation video, it says it has 19,000 views from 12 hours ago. Wow. My video is keeping pace with Ronaldo. I may have got one that has 20,000 from about the same time ago. A little bit earlier than his. I've got a little bit of a head start. So his is 19 and mine's 24. So mine's 5 hours older, and it's got more views. Wow. But I mean, usually I can't keep up with Ronaldo because people don't watch my content because of the shadow banning. That's interesting. Interesting. Very exciting for me. He's got 130,000 subscribers. I got 20,000. So if I can keep pace with a channel that's got over 100,000 views, that's pretty cool. Hope this year won't have to see Taylor Swift Super Bowl. Well, I won't be watching the Super Bowl, Pablo, so it's really not a question for me. Crypto. No, EWC is unconstitutional. Yep. Neville says better late than never. How's the mom? How's your mom doing there? Okay. Yeah, I'm not buying that. South Africa's forced by international pressure. No. I don't buy that. Yeah, they may have felt the pressure, but there was no reason to capitulate. No reason to capitulate. Yeah. Well, Ian Smith had the wrong approach. That's the problem. But they didn't. I mean, tell you what, the Rhodesian military was amazing. The Rhodesian police were just unbelievable in that conflict. But they were fighting a losing. It's just uphill battle the whole way. Tough row to hoe. PK says, I think your channel's being suppressed. Well, I think so too. It's also, tabs are crashing again. What the hell's going on there? I mean, why is my video still being checked by YouTube? I mean, it's been up for 2-3 hours now. They should have been able to finish the check. At least I was able to publish it. I didn't think I was going to be able to publish it. That's crazy. So, am I even live? There we go. I'm live. Okay. Well, that took a few seconds to figure out. Yeah. Mom is doing well, says Neville. That's good to see. Okay. We'll watch the Super Bowl without sound if the home team makes it. Oh, you mean the Eagles? Okay. All right. Yeah, no, I won't be watching it all. Thank you, PK, for telling me I'm live. No, because the tab crashed. My studio, which is over here, the tab crashed. So, anyway. What? What the hell are you talking about, Alter Bridge? Doesn't make any sense. Night Owls yesterday surpassed the Wednesday with Colonels. Did it really? I didn't know that. Let's take a look and see live. Yeah, the night. So yeah, the Ramaposa death sentence. Yeah, that's the biggest live stream I've had in ages. That's where I'm getting a lot of views. I didn't realize that. Yesterday we had 1,390. We were still getting 50 to 100 views an hour per today. That thing is 4,200 views. Wow. That's amazing. That's like Big Daddy Liberty numbers. So got 34 comments. I didn't even look at the comments on this one. Yep. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I didn't realize it. 4,000 views. And then the one in the morning had 1,900 views. Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that got me 11 subscribers, that first one. That's crazy. from a live stream. They didn't even show up. And this one's 17. That's 28 subscribers from those 2 live streams yesterday. Well, thank you all for that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I mean, I don't usually get subscribers in the live streams. That's interesting. Yeah, no, the live streams have definitely seen an uptick since Sunday. I mean, it's, well, before Sunday, going back to the interview with AfriForum Challenges. That was with Kali Creel. That one had 1,200, and 615, 707, 996, 776, 887, 1,922, 4,086. It's out 4,200. Yeah. Whereas that's why I'm looking at today. We're going, we only have 300 and some people here. What's going on? 395. We got the 100 likes though. See a lot of aircraft last couple of days running the border. Yeah, no, I'm not surprised. What about Common Sense Conservatives broadcast? That doesn't get much on my channel. That channel is definitely suppressed. My original channel. By the way, I think we're now larger than that channel. I think we have more subscribers on this channel now than on my other channel. In fact, let me take a look, because with today's people joining, we've actually surpassed my original channel for the first time. That's interesting because, you know, they took away 2,000 subscribers on that channel. Let me take a look and see. So I have to switch accounts here. So give me a second here. Colonel Chris Wyatt. Okay, switch accounts. Switch account to... okay. I don't want this family plan for YouTube. Okay, where's my channel at? I want to see. 21,500 subscribers. I'm now have a larger channel here than my original channel. Of course, the original channel took 5 months to get to that figure, from 2 to 23,000, but now it's down to 21,000. And this channel took took 4 years. So it's almost 4 years. Anyway, yep. Yeah, so I have more subscribers here now than on my original channel. But between the two of them, I have 43,000 subscribers between those two. Some of those are duplicates, but then the Rugby Senate is another 8,000. So that puts me over 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. But none of that's on one channel. We got to get one channel to 100,000, get that little silver plaque. James Brown feels good. Good to see you back there. All right. Oh, South Africa has such potential. Ronaldo's EWC video has been up twice as long as yours, and you've got 13,000 views. He has 19,000. No, Pablo Charlie. No. That's my second video. My first video has over 19,000. My second video, and it isn't 13,000. That's not accurate. What you see is not the actual number. It's behind. So my original video was Expropriation Without Compensation yesterday, and that was the first video that I'm aware of was published online. Has 19,400 views. Let me double check and make sure that's correct. So 19,400 views currently. 412. Yep. And the second video, which I published after midnight last night, which is today, that one, politicians rush to make excuses. That one has 15,400. So that one's young. That one's younger than Ronaldo's video. The other one is older by about 5 hours. So, yep. The other channel is U.S. centric. Yeah, and it used to have lots of viewers in the U.S. About 30%, 40% of my audience was the U.S., but no one's watching anymore. Not many people are anyway. But we'll keep pushing. We'll keep going, and we'll see how it does. Anyway. It just takes one break. That's all it takes, folks. You know, someone who's got influence and sees the content and hears what I have to say, and people come over. So, anyway, we'll get there one day. Yep. So, James, we're talking about the... would you consider email marketing for growing channel? No, not really. Because I need somebody that, you know, made it a snazzy looking video that gets embedded in email and puts it all together. So, yeah. Well, sure, Charles. Donald Trump on my channel would be fantastic. I mean, a couple content creators, a young kid had Trump on there, and he gained millions of subscribers as a consequence, and he didn't know what the hell he's talking about. Yeah, we're getting closer to 22,000, but I want 25,000 is my immediate goal. I'm really hungry to get 25,000 subscribers on this channel. Really am, but it's going to take some work. And I'd hope that like the videos I've done the last couple of days will really help push this over, but the numbers just aren't coming at that pace. But hey, that's okay. You know, it's not a problem. I have another video in mind. I don't know if I'm going to make it today, but another video in mind. Oh, look, we had a little surge here. We went live. Went to 2,800 viewers from 11 o'clock. So a lot of people did tune in, but they weren't tuning in for this. They tuned in for the video I just published. The one I just published because it was published just before that. Janky Stone Aged Ape. Says, greetings, Colonel Chris. As a new subscriber, I appreciate the content. We need more people like yourself exposing lunacy of South African government. Well, Janky, I've been doing this since I retired from active duty military. In October 2019 was when I came out of the military after 36 and a half years. And then in February of 2020, I started doing this on my existing YouTube channel, which got censored later on. But in 5 months, I went from 2 to 23,000 subscribers, and I covered the Black Monday. I covered the Witkreuz Monument. I covered Senecal. If I was the only one covering it the first time, then Senecal 2 I covered. I covered Brockenfell. I covered the Phoenix March by the EFF. So I covered so many things, and it just took off. And then because I accurately reported on the events in Pennsylvania for the 2020 election, I got censored by YouTube. They took my video down. They gave me a warning for something I didn't do. I appealed it. They told me to get stuffed. They did one video after another. It was absolutely Orwellian what was going on. I still have the emails of how they removed my videos. The same video for the same allegation that they just said it didn't violate. An hour later, they removed the same video. They put it back up. 3 hours later, they take it down. And it went on for 4 days for several videos, disrupting my channel. And eventually, they took down my original channel. I had to start over again. And I got to 1,000 so I could do live streaming pretty quickly because I got help from Ronaldo, who was having big audience at times, and hey, the Colonel's back. Here's this new channel. And so this channel has grown very slowly but organically over the past 3 years plus years. But no, thank you for finding my channel. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Janky Stone H. Please tell people about the channel. Share it. You know, it's amazing how many people watch my content that aren't subscribers and don't have a YouTube account, because you don't have to have a YouTube account to watch content. If you want to watch Twitter content, you've got to have a Twitter account. But for YouTube, you can just go on the internet and search it, because YouTube wants to make money from adverts. They don't care. They don't care who you are, as long as you're not a bot. So yeah, a lot of people watch my content that don't have YouTube accounts, and therefore I get no credit for the views or subscribers. But we're trying. Janky, I think you'll find some pretty interesting content here and on my original channel at Colonel Chris Wyatt, if you'd please, or excuse me, at Real Chris Wyatt, at Real Chris Wyatt. If you'd please go subscribe to that one as well. My focus there is mainly on the U.S. now, but I had a lot of content on South Africa, but I removed it because when the channel was restored 23 months after they deleted it illegitimately, and I appealed it for the third time, they restored it. That channel came back up. It coincided directly with the time that Evil Wench left Google. Janky's just gifted 10 memberships. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, and so it coincided directly with that. And what happened was they immediately tagged 5 of my videos and said that they were, there's subscription. Charles Van Alton just became a member. Congratulations, Charles, for your membership, which is donated there. The look is tightened up. Yeah, oh, you mean the beard? Yeah, it's getting shorter. The beard gets shorter by the day, folks. And Alter Bridge. Look at that, Alter Bridge. Down Under, Alter Bridge gets a membership. Yeah, so where was I going with that? Daniel Joseph. Anyway, so yeah, it's the channel came back and it had 2,000 missing members, even though you couldn't subscribe or unsubscribe to it because it was in the Gulag. So they must have been bots. Continuum FM, Continuum. Congratulations. And so, yeah, it came back, but ever since then, they just keep taking subscribers off. They took over 1,000 subscribers off over the course of a year, and then had one video that broke somehow. Salem's Cave, congratulations. That broke their algorithm, and I got 150,000 views on a Trump video when I usually get 172 views. It just, I don't know what I did, but it broke through, and I thought I was going to get, I gained 1,500, 1,600 subscribers from that one video. Philippa, congratulations. And that took me back up to where I'm at now, 21,600. Now I'm back down to 21,500. So that channel now officially is smaller than this channel, which is pretty wild. Philip van Niekerk, been a member for a long time, or a viewer for a long time. All right, so thank you for that. Thank you for donating the memberships to people. That's pretty cool. How many more we got here? We got Jerome, Keanu. Swearim DJ. Oh my goodness, I didn't even know you're still around, man. Swearim DJ's here. Wow. I haven't seen Swearim DJ comment in a long time, man. That's exciting. Felipe Gladstone, okay. Jerome Oliver, or Olivier, as Afrikaners like to say. Olivier, yeah. And Keanu was gifted membership by Janky Stone. Okay, cool beans. There it is, Keanu. There are certain laws that should have been changed in apartheid era, but power should never have been handed over. Well, the thing is that... what is this? What is Alter Bridge saying? I'm a fake Chris Wyatt. It was still pretty good, so I don't know what to believe. Huh? What are you talking about? Did I miss something you said? Alter Bridge. I don't see any comments from Alter Bridge. What are you talking about, man? You're the only one, Chris, that exposed everything. You're up to date with the news. Thanks for that. You're welcome, Elizabeth. I try. Do you have a bio wiki page on the open web? I found you originally on the rugby line. No, I don't have wiki page. That surprises me. You know, I'm actually, I don't know if that's, I'm not going to create my own. So let me go to Wikipedia. I'm not aware of one, so. Wikipedia. Let's go to Wikipedia and let me do a search. William. Nope. Search. There's no page for me on Wikipedia. I'm surprised. I see minor people who have no followers, who've never done anything in life. They get a tweet or something like that, and they have Wikipedia pages. But I think it's entirely self-serving if I were to create one of myself. Also, I haven't put a Wikipedia page up because it'd probably get lies, and they put it up there, and just people misrepresent. So I've never worried about it. My bio shows up in a few places. I mean, look, Scott Balson found a bio of me from the Energy in Africa. Let me see if I can find that. So Energy in Africa, Energy in Africa, WYATT. And he put it up as if he found some secret that I was a CIA agent. That is so funny. I'll never forget that stupid stuff. All right, so let me see. Here we go. There it is. That's it. Found it very easily. When discussing energy in Africa related to Wyatt, it likely refers to the work of Ernest B. Wyatt, who has significant experience in international business development, particularly in sub-Saharan Africa. And 906H2 just signed. Thank you for signing. Yeah. Anyway, no, it's not. So here's my biography that appears on the Energy in Africa conference, which Balson put up to prove that I was, and he hid the URL. So I'll give you the URL if you want to check it out, folks. There's no secret here. This is publicly releasable stuff. I gave it to people. So, but I'll give you this. Hang on. So that's the bio, and this is the one that was presented in the video. We have the proof. The so-called colonel is a CIA agent. Secret agent, man. Oh my goodness, I'll never forget that. Silly people, dumb as a box of rocks, these people are. But anyway, there's the link for that, so if you want to check it out, and I'll show you what everyone what it looks like right now. This is the biography. So it was on the Energy in Africa conference 2018. I went there, and here you go, there it is. That's kind of hard to read, so I'll zoom it up. Okay, there you go. So Colonel Chris Wyatt. Okay. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Hang on a second. All right, so Colonel Chris Wyatt is Director of African Studies at the U.S. Army War College. He received his commission as a military intelligence officer from Ohio University in 1989. He's a graduate of the Military Intelligence Officer Basic and Advanced courses, the Counterintelligence Officer course, the Signals Intelligence Officer course, Combined Armed Services Staff School, the Air Assault School, Command and General Staff College, and the United States Army War College. Prior to his arrival at Carlisle Barracks, he was assigned U.S. mission to the African Union in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, where he was the senior military advisor to the mission and the U.S. Africa Command liaison officer to the African Union. Previous assignments included service as Assistant S2 and Battalion S2, Intelligence Officer, 3rd Battalion, 8th Cavalry, Gelnhausen, Germany, Brigade S2, 4th Brigade, 1st Armored Division, Hanau, Germany, Assistant Professor of Military Science, Iowa State University, Ames, Iowa, Counterintelligence Coordinating Authority, Task Force Eagle, Tuzla, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Commander of Vicenza Military Intelligence Detachment, Vicenza, Italy, Foreign Area Officer, U.S. Defense Attaché Office in Tunis, Tunisia, Cryptologic Liaison Officer, National Security Agency, Executive Officer for the Cryptologic Mission Management Strategic Partners Initiative, NSA, Chief of Staff for the Cryptologic Mission Management and National Security Agency, Senior Africa Analyst, Defense Intelligence Agency, Southern and Central Africa Branch Chief, Africa Division, Defense Intelligence Agency, Deputy Chief, Africa Division, Defense Intelligence Agency, Chief Office, U.S. Security Cooperation, Monrovia, Liberia, Chief, U.S. Office of Security Cooperation, Gaborone, Botswana, Deputy Division Chief and Branch Chief, South International Military Engagement Division, J5, U.S. Africa Command, Stuttgart, Germany, Chief Office of Security Cooperation, Niger, Niamey, Niger. Chief Office, U.S. Security Cooperation, Mauritania, Nouakchott, Mauritania. Senior Africa Foreign Area Officer, J5, U.S. Africa Command, and Chief Office Security Cooperation, Uganda, Kampala, Uganda. Colonel Wyatt holds a Master's of Science in International Relations from Troy University and a Master of Strategic Studies from the U.S. Army War College. His awards and decorations include the Defense Meritorious Service Medal, 5 Oak Leaf Clusters, Meritorious Service Medal, 1 Oak Leaf Cluster, Joint Service Commendation Medal, the Army Commendation Medal, 7 Oak Leaf Clusters, Joint Service Achievement Medal, the Army Achievement Medal, 3 Oak Leaf Clusters, the Good Conduct Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, 2 stars, Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal, the Southwest Asia Service Medal, 3 stars, Kosovo Campaign Medal, Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Armed Forces Service Medal, Army Service Medal, Overseas Ribbon, 10 NATO Medal, Bosnia, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwaiti Liberation Medal, and the Air Assault Badge. Joint Meritorious Unit Award, 3 of them, the National Security Agency, Defense Intelligence Agency, U.S. Africa Command, and the Valorous Unit Award. I don't see CIA in there anywhere. I don't see it anywhere there, folks. Where did you guys see it? Oh my goodness. Leah's going to sleep. I bored people with that. Oh, sorry. Use a narrative and pictures from your PA campaign page. Oh, you mean create a bio? Well, let me find a place where I can put a bio, you know. Yeah, I can put down I ran on successfully. Video content, picture content will get you the most SEO. So TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. Very few people read anymore. Yeah, I don't use my Instagram account much. I should create another Instagram account and just do that. So yeah, you let emotions get the better of you. My point of albinos refers to the most horrific things are perpetrated against them. I have no idea what you're talking about, Garrett. When did you talk about albinos? Oh, that was a long time ago, dude. That was like an hour ago. My emotions aren't getting the best of me. I'm just moderating my channel. That's all. I know nothing about soccer or whiskey. Oh, you are mistaken. I know about whiskey. I've been to the world's northernmost distillery, Highland Park, in the Orkneys. Yeah, soccer. I know all about soccer. It's boring. Janky says, goodness, that is rough, Colonel Chris. I'll definitely have a look and share the content amongst those who like. Well, yeah, please thank Janky. I appreciate that. No, it's not rough. It's just the way it is. I mean, it's, if you're honest, if you have standards, if you are unwavering in what's right, moral, and just, then you're a target. And because the world's full of evil people, including those who run technology companies. Yeah. And also a lot of people who've made it, who are big and famous, they have inferiority complexes, or they fear competition. I don't fear competition. I promote Ronaldo. He promotes me. I promoted Roman when he was on. I promote Byron. I promote Joe Emilio, not recently, but I used to promote him a lot. I even promoted Scott Balson back in the day and told people they should go watch his content. I've gone in every channel that's ever asked me to go on, except ones that are a couple that were dicey and they didn't really follow through. I have tried to interview guests from all different walks of life from all over the world, and I've done that successfully. I have gone on every program that have asked me, whether it was in the Netherlands, it was in South Africa, or it was here in the U.S. I've gone on all these programs I've asked to go on. I appear on every program, and so I have no problem promoting others because, to me, a rising tide lifts all boats. It's not like me gaining subscribers is going to take people away from Joe Rogan. It's not going to happen. I mean, I might get a subscriber, but they're not going to leave Joe Rogan, and that's not my intent. So, I mean, some people are just jealous. I'm not jealous. I'm jealous of the numbers people have. I'm not jealous of the people. Actually, I'm impressed by the content. There are some truly incredible, good content creators on YouTube, just like there are on TikTok. People that really know how to manipulate the software and get the effect you're looking for, whereas I'm just kind of an amateur at it, and I really could use a team to do this for me, to make my graphics and, also incorporate, video and audio. I do that all. But, if I had people doing it, I'd look so much more professional. But anyway. No, but I'm envious of like the internet anarchist. That guy's incredible. CoffeeZilla, pretty incredible. Yeah, these are good people. But I don't envy people like Mr. Beast. That guy's looks like a fraud, according to everything I've seen. And Jayus and all these others, So, I also don't envy, Crowder. I do envy the fact that these people were able to get into the sphere years before I could. I mean, I was a serving intelligence officer. I couldn't be doing this, serving in the military. So I had to wait until I left the military to start doing this. And this wasn't my intent. I had no intent to do this, and it's not my vocation, although I spent a lot of time doing it. My intent was to be a consultant and to drum up business from American companies to go into Africa, to expand American business interests in Africa to the benefit of Africans, to American corporations, shareholders, and to myself. And that all went by the wayside with the COVID scam. I couldn't travel anymore. And so I started doing videos, and it caught on. And I still do consulting work, but I don't do a lot of it. I've got some coming up in March and April. So I do some consulting work, but most of what I do now is I try to keep the world informed. and I do it through YouTube primarily. Although I submitted an article to the Daily Friend this morning. I don't know if they're going to publish it. This is about Trump's executive orders. I've got several articles published on the Daily Friend for those who don't know. Let me see. Hang on a second here. Daily Friend. Okay. Actually, the smarter way to do this is this one. Daily Friend, Chris Wyatt. That's how we do it. Okay. There we go. So here you go. You can see me on the Daily Friend if you read that from the Institute for Race Relations. There you go. I'm an occasional author. I've got just 2 stories on there. Last July, Autocrats, Not Democrats, American Crisis. And then in May of last year, I had The Friend or Foe. They were very popular. They liked those. Both of them went over very well. So I've submitted another one yesterday or this morning. So hopefully they'll publish it. I mean, they're not very good about telling me when they're publishing things. They just do it. Anyway, what's going on there? Why does this keep coming up there? Anyway. All right. So, yeah, 113 likes on this one. We got some super chat money early on, so thanks for that. That's always helpful. Do appreciate that immensely. YouTube, you know, it's in some ways it gets better. One of the best things that YouTube did was a couple years ago, they allowed us to only let you chat if we choose to, or who gets to chat and how often they get to chat. That was a nice addition because prior to that, YouTube had a lot of trolls and they would just come in and ruin things. But now when they have to wait 10 minutes, they move on usually. Yeah, the Ruud Constantia video, that was pretty good. I also love this channel because you have no filter. Facts rule. Yeah, Chris, I do a lot of self-filtering though. I mean, if I really went off with, I mean, look, profanity is, man, people say it's low class, and it can be low class. It depends how you use it. I mean, Salty Cracker uses profanity very effectively. I like Salty Cracker, but I haven't watched him in ages. He's a one-trick pony. It's the same thing all the time. He's got the same intonation, the same attack. I'm not attacking him. It's good content, but it just gets old for me. It's the same thing. You know, AOC is terrible, you know, and no ideas. So anyway, and I've had Sticks and Hexenhammer 666. He was a guest on my program. Boy, I thought that would make me blow up, but that didn't. People didn't come over when he was on here, but he was an interesting guest. We had a nice chat. Yeah, so I've had Kevin Sorbo on the channel. I've had Dr. Victor Davis Hanson on the channel multiple times. I've had most of the major politicians in South Africa outside MK, EFF, and ANC on my program. Yeah, so we try. And the Ruud Constantia was fantastic. The filmmaker who put that together was just amazing. Have we even got to 1,000 views on that thing yet? I don't think so. Let's take a look and see. Ruud Constantia. Okay, I don't think we got there yet. So let's go to the stats. And we have 991. Oh my goodness. Could I get 9 people who haven't watched that video to please go over there right now? Can we just get to 1,000 that? Oh my goodness. We're just 9 views away. You don't get credit if you've already been there. So, wow. I need 9 people to go over and watch this video right now. I mean, not now, but you do it after the stream. Please do that. I would really be grateful. We've got, 66 here? Odds are at least 4 or 5 of you haven't watched it yet. And I'll have to beg people next time we have a bigger audience to just go over there and just click on it, watch it for a minute so we get credit. Wow. We're almost at 1,000 views on that. That's crazy. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so this is the video, South Africa's oldest wine farm, and 991 views from 2 years ago. That's just
We're at
criminal.
The oldest wine vineyard in South Africa, established back in 1685, and that's Ruud Constantia. I hope I got that correct. Is that pretty good? Pretty good, pretty good. Okay.
Pet 2 film crew, how's it going? Excellent.
Cheers. Cheers.
Oh, that is sweet.
That's baie lekker.
But
That is baie lekker.
Just smell it. You that musk flavor. It's amazing.
Yeah, the aroma is amazing.
Well, this is the chief executive officer of Ruud Constantia. This is, in fact, the oldest vineyard in South Africa, yes?
Yeah, it's the oldest surviving vineyard in South Africa. You know, the South African wine industry started in 1659 when Jan van Riebeeck wrote in...
Jan van Riebeeck. Ooh, evil Jan. Anyway, 991 views. So, yeah, if people could go over and check that out when they get a chance, I'd appreciate it. Man, I don't know. We're getting close to the 1,000. That's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, so, wow, that's exciting. So, all right, it's time to wrap it up. We went 2 hours. Didn't expect that. It's a Friday. It's a lekker Freitag. So thank you for being here. Hope you've enjoyed it. Can Trump fire Mayorkas? Yeah, he isn't fired already? I thought he was already gone. He can fire Mayorkas. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Thank you, Chris, for your comments. Secret squirrel action. Video content, pictures, content. Okay, you guys tell me that. So I'm going to love you and leave you. Okay, see you later. Not sure if what's better, Secret Agent Man or Kung Fu Fighting. Yeah, we have fun with the Kung Fu Fighting. And what else we got here before we wrap up? Well, Colonel, I do believe that there are some common ground between Americans. Oh, there's a lot of common ground, South Africans and Americans. Absolutely. And I talk about it extensively over the years. Also glad I can make you chuckle a bit. My name stems from my attempt of making gaming content. Yeah, I was kind of guessing that. Yankee Stone Age Ape 86. I figured, a lot of people try to push me to do gaming streams, but I just can't find games I like anymore. I used to be a huge gamer back in the PC gamer. I didn't do consoles. I mean, I did consoles when, we had Atari, Pong, and Frogger and stuff like that, and Asteroids back in the day. But I haven't done consoles since I was in high school. I do PC games, and they've been run. Chris, you touch base with Neil Beer. He's in a meltdown. Yeah, I touched base, but I didn't hear back from him. All right to him now. All right, so there. Yeah, but I don't know what's going on with Neil. He's having a meltdown. I didn't know that. Don't believe South Africans deserve anything 4 and 8. I agree they don't. Not sure what I said, Erica, but it was about you. I was just playing. I thought I could with you. No, Alter Bridge, your comment was confusing, and it implied some things that I didn't think were appropriate, so that's why I removed it. You're fine. I just was confused by what you put on there. Christoph Havanga. Oh, my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to enjoy the evening. Christoph Havanga is back. Where have you been hiding? My goodness, I thought that you had disappeared forever. I haven't seen you in the chat in donkey years. Really, donkey years, man. I mean, think about that. Donkey years. What are donkey years? Do they live a long time? Not really. You have to pick a creature that lives forever. Why are these text messages? Okay, this one actually is one I got to worry about. What? Oh, okay. Sorry. This people, they write things the way they write it look bad. It's not bad. Went undercover. Yeah, donkey years. And I'm glad you're back. Yeah, the old army is here. I'm a little slow right now. We had 100 plus earlier. We were nearly 100 today, not 100. Yeah. We were 107 people watching the program earlier. So yeah, 115 likes, a little bit of super chat. And then we had the gamer dude, Janky, just give 10 memberships. That's really cool. Good heavens, Colonel, you look like Santa Claus in that vid. Yeah, well, if you've been following me all along, you know that I was beardless, and then my beard went to my navel. And if you watch this channel in the early days, in the winter of 2020, I'd go out marching in the snow. Oh, look at that, man. There's a super chat coming in, too. Ha-ha. I get that. And yes, it's janky. Hope this helps. Yeah, it helps a lot, man. Thank you for the super chat. That's very kind of you. Yeah, it's been a slow month this month. Actually, the numbers are skewed for revenue for the channel. Last month, my revenue went back to a more of a normal level, but 2 events happened in December. One is normal. The other was unusual, which drives the revenue a little bit higher. And I had some more advertising revenue, a bit more. But the reason why it was higher, and it really wasn't that much when you put it all together, but I traditionally get a lot of super chats on my birthday. My birthday is, I may look like Santa Claus, but my birthday is on Christmas Day, the 25th. And people tune in because I broadcast on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day. And so every year, people typically give me super chats on Christmas Day, which I'm very grateful for. This year, it was about 1/4 what it normally is. It was really low. But there was another event that took place in December. Leah Minar, one of our viewers, who's confined to a wheelchair, was robbed in Pretoria West by thugs who put a gun in her face and demanded her bank card and her details, or they're going to kill her. She gave them up, and they went and drained her bank account of all her money. I found out about it during our live stream, and I was incredibly irritated, pissed off, annoyed, and angry. And my response to it was I offered that I would put up 2,000 Rand to recoup her 9,000 Rand. And super chats poured in, and within 15 minutes, we had the 9,000 Rand. Unfortunately, YouTube's exchange rate cheated me out of all that money. Plus, they take 30%. So I did send her the 9,000 Rand, but then I got cheated on the exchange rate from Western Union or MoneyGram, whatever it was. And so I paid a lot more than the 2,000 Rand. I actually paid more than half that out of my pocket after the exchange rate and converting the money and what YouTube took, which is fine. But the money I received this month is from those donations last month. but it doesn't cover what I took out of my pocket. So that's fine, though. But anyway, so we're just talking about revenues. So thank you for that super chat. Would have thought you converted to Islam with that beard. Pretoria West is dodgy. Yeah. Used to be a beautiful place. Yep. Donkeys are stoic creatures who put up a lot of crap, so their years seem long. Oh, my soul, I'm sorry to hear that. That's not very far from where I am, Pretoria North. Well, Pretoria North is not too far from Soshanguve, a place where I've been. You want to talk about a dangerous place to go? Go hang out in Soshanguve. Try to go to the asteroid crater up there and drive through Soshanguve. Your better bet is to go further east, go north, and then cut across. It's a lot less dodgy. But when you turn from Pretoria North and go up, you wind up at Soshanguve. Not a good place to be. Yeah. So Hammanskarl, been there as well. I know Pretoria very well. So I'm glad that you found the channel. Please share it with others. It's awesome when people find it. And I'm guessing you found it because of the expropriation videos I've been doing, which are pretty cool. Just don't eat anything. Hey, Arctic, they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Listen, Arctic, Arctic bought me droevos, and I refused to eat droevos for years. I just wouldn't eat it. It looked dodgy. It looked like there's full of fat, and I don't like fat in my meat. So I would never eat that stuff. That's why I'm not a big braai guy. So I'll go, but I'm not a big braai guy because Boer love their fat on their meat. Anyway, so I never ate them for years. I love, of course, biltong to the end of the earth. But then Arctic gave me some droevos, and I thanked him for it, but I'm thinking, oh gosh, I don't want this. That was nice of him, but I can't refuse it. And then I was traveling if we linked up there in Linwood Bridge in Pretoria. I was traveling and I was starving, and I got that Dorvorst from Arctic, man. Let me try that. Man, I ate that stuff and I was in heaven. Oh, I've been missing it all these years. Oh, why be such a fussy eater? Man, I've been such a fussy eater for so long. You worked there in Deep Sloot. Yeah. Oh, Deep Sloot. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Dorvorst is the best. Okay. Mamelodi West is a real deal. Play Russian roulette with your wallet. Yeah, you got it. All right, folks, let's wrap it up here. Janky, thanks for finding us. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the 10 memberships. Really appreciate that. We'll see you back here. In case you don't know it, Janky, 3 channels I'm doing in YouTube primarily. This one, at Colonel Chris Wyatt, which you've subscribed to now. Buy a donkey. Then I have at Real Chris Wyatt. Please go subscribe to that if you don't mind. And then finally, I have at Rugby Ascendant. Jan van Weingart. Is that what it says? I can't see that very well. It says Weingart. Welcome, Jan. So at Rugby Ascendant, I do live play-by-play and color commentary of rugby broadcasting. Tomorrow I'll be covering the Lions and Bulls game, and I'll be covering the Stormers game in Dublin against Leinster. Hoping against all hope that the Stormers win. I'm a supporter. All right, so yeah, please check out those channels. And anyone else that's new to the channel, please do that. It's been a long one today, 2 hours. Anyway, well, there, thank you. Arctic Fun Weingart. Okay, it's hard to see because the letters came across on the clock up here. Well, there on the clock, and I couldn't see very clearly. That's it, folks. Have a good day. Thanks to my moderators. Thanks to my viewers. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the super chat. And thanks for hanging around with us. Please watch all my content. Share it widely. And please, 9 of you, go watch that Ruud Constantia documentary, which after 2 years still doesn't have 1,000 views. Have a good day. All right? We're going to leave it there. Well, maybe I'll add one thing to this video before we end it. We'll do one more thing here before we wrap it up, okay? We're going to put this in here. Okay, I got to find this. There we go. We're going to wrap up the show with this. Where's it at? Where you hide that? There we go. There's the folder. Here we go. Come on. Where you at? Come on. Where the heck's it at? It's here somewhere. Ah, got it. Okay. Got it.